Good evening, and I welcome you, students. We are going to begin another question answer sessions on chemical bonding. And before that, let us do some warm up exercise to relieve the stress and to have a good higher energy level. Sit comfortably on the chair, and we will do Vastrika 10 times. Inhale up, exhale down. One, okay, come back. Shoulders, rotate your shoulders so that they are free. When we will study, there is some stiffness, some stress on the shoulders. One, two, three, four, five. Reverse. One, two, three, four, five. Come back. Hands close and open 10 times. Inhale, exhale. Okay, come back. Release your neck. Make your neck comfortable. Any stiffness, release it. Right hand up. Inhale. Stretch to the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, down. Left hand. Inhale. Stretch to the left. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Inhale. Come back. Now give a rotation to the neck 3 times clockwise, 3 times anti-clockwise. Half inhale, half exhale. Start. Reverse anti-clockwise. Okay, come back. Keep the spinal cord erect. Keep your spinal cord erect on the back side. Tap your feet 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, blood circulation is quite good now. The energy level has improved and increased. That's what is required. We don't want to sleep while we study. Now let us do some breathing to relax ourselves. Relax ourselves. Sit comfortably on the chair. And what will we do? We will inhale, count of 5, hold for 3, and exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your palms should be comfortable on your laps or on the table, feet touching the ground, entire body relaxed. Start. Inhale, hold, exhale slowly. Inhale as deeply as possible. Hold. Exhale slowly. Bring your awareness on your breath. Inhale. Hold. Exhale slowly. Come back. Observe your breath. Hold your hands. Attitude of gratitude is very, very important. We are thankful for all the best of the best things we have, and we will try our best to improve ourselves. Rub your hands, and the healing energy, heat energy like a field of the magnet. Put it on your face. Keep inhaling, exhaling. Gentle massage your forehead, your cheeks, your jaws, your neck, eyes, ears, neck, head, and slowly you may open your eyes with smiles. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, come back. All right, students, we are back for another amazing session. Question answer is important. As you see, with different type of questions, our revision also takes place, and we are able to do practice for the coming examinations. So questions are on the screen, students. Important MCQ questions, which we are being discussed for different competition. They will be useful for NEET, JEE, 12th, and many other exams. Student can take advantage of it, and also by this way they can revise the chemistry before they go to exam. And our purpose is you learn more and more. Learn more, and focus, concentrate, and set up an intention and a goal. Yes, we have to learn a target. Every time we set up a target, we set up intentions. Yes, we are going to focus, we are going to learn, and you have an opportunity to use your materials. Till date, we are saying, okay, you can study more and more and try to answer the questions which are on the screen, students. Question number 1 is on the screen, is based on bond angle. You will find that students in other different exams, they are asking questions on bond angles. When it comes to bond angle, tell me bond angle, what is bond angle and on what factors it will depend when you are forming some compounds. What do you think, how you can decide the bond angles? Have you been given some bond angles for a particular scheme has been given for that to you? Or how
Yes,
do you
sir.
decide bond angles? What basis you decide the bond angle? Okay, the same question we are putting.
On the basis of hybridization.
Then you are saying you will try to see the hybridization. And beyond that, what else will happen?
Then it will be lone pair repulsion.
Then
Bond
there
pair
will be lone
repulsion.
pairs, there will be bond pairs, student. So there is a repulsion between lone pair. There are other factors like steric factor, etc. You have seen. All these will come together. You have seen inorganic compounds based on for ethers, what happened? The bond angle increased because of the steric repulsion of alkyl group. So, I mean, different type of questions can be put. They are interesting questions because the shapes of the molecules, geometry of the molecules, is a fascinating subject itself. So, what we talk of shapes, geometry, and you have seen these are the bond pairs which are formed will decide the shape. The lone pairs are not going to be there when you will see the shapes of these molecules. But when you talk of geometry, the hybridization is important. So the first question here, bond angle of 109.20 is found in. So try to see what are the hybridizations, different type of hybridizations and bond angles, and how the bond angle can change.
It will be in NH4 plus.
What will happen in ammonia? What is the hybridization of ammonia? What is the
SP3.
It is sp3. You know, 3 bond angle and 1 lone pair. sp3. But what happens? There is a lone pair.
Lone pair repulsion.
lone pair, bond pair repulsion, the bond angle becomes less than that. And this behaves like a inverted, you can see pyramidal, it is a pyramidal shape molecule. Then what happens in H2O? What is the hybridization? What is the hybridization of oxygen in H2O?
It is sp3.
sp3. But this lone pair repulsion, what is the hybridization in CH3 plus?
CH3 plus. Um, it is sp2.
sp2. So the sp2 bond angle is how much? You know about it. What is the sp2 bond angle? And the shape? What is the geometry of this?
CH3. It will be molecular geometry will be trigonal planar.
See the interesting things, how the shapes are changing, and this is a carbocation, you are aware of it. And what happens when you talk of NH4 plus?
It is also sp3 hybridized.
NH4 plus is sp3 hybridization, and
But there will be no lone pair, so there will be no repulsion.
then the bond angle will become equal to this plus 109 degree 28 minutes. See, the interesting question is good because you will learn so many things from this. That's the point. Every question will teach you so many things, and it's very important that we learn more. Question number 2 is coming on the screen now. Hybridization of underlined atom changes in underlined atom. Which is underlined atom? This is underlined. This oxygen is underlined, and nitrogen is underlined. So what is the answer coming, student? Check it out.
Sir, it should be A option.
A option. What happens in A option?
Sir, AlH3 is sp2 hybridized and AlH4 minus is sp3.
sp3. Here oxygen.
Sir, it will remain sp3 only.
sp3 oxygen. Here nitrogen.
sp3.
sp3. All right. See, very interesting question. Okay. We got to learn as much as possible from such questions, and see, hybridization is important. There will be questions on hybridization, there will be questions on shapes, bond angles, all these. There could be any question, different question. That's why we are doing so much work, because question will be changed. Next question, the number of lone pairs on xenon in Xe2, Fe and respectively are XeF2, XeF4 and Xe6. So again, you draw the structures and see. Draw the structures and see what is the type of questions, students.
Sir, it will be A option.
A option.
Yes.
What is happening? Xenon. How many electrons are there in xenon? 2, 3,
Outer it has 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Figure 8. When it forms F2, what happens? One fluorine, one fluorine. How many lone pairs are left?
3.
3 lone pairs. When it forms 4, how many lone pairs are left?
2 lone pairs.
2 lone pairs. And when it forms 6, total is 8.
It will 1 lone pair.
1 lone pair. Very good. Good question. So the 3, 2, 1. Which is the correct answer?
A option.
All right. See, this also helps us in what will be the hybridization. We can easily predict and the geometry of these. The shapes have been asked for these molecules also. So how many bond pairs are there? 2. And how many lone pairs are there? For example, in XCF2, what is the hybridization? What is the
Hybridization will be sp3d.
SP,
XZF2.
sp3d?
2 bonds.
How it will be?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
sp3d.
sp3d. There are 2 bond pairs and how many lone pairs?
3 lone pairs.
Bond pair plus 3 lone pairs, student, total 5. What is the shape when it is sp3d hybridized? What is the geometry of sp3d?
It will be sp3d. XZF2 will be linear.
I'm saying what is the geometry when it is sp3d hybridized. I'm not saying shape and geometry are 2 different things. Talk of geometry and shapes. For sp3d hybridization, what is the geometry as per the hybrid?
It is trigonal bipyramidal.
How do you write it? Like this, something like this, huh?
Yes,
Now
sir.
what will happen? There are 3 lone pairs of electron. Where will be they? Lone pair will be where? You can see that equatorial position.
Yeah.
And then what it will be the shape? Linear.
Linear.
There is a difference between everything. Try to learn more and more. That's what will happen in the case of XCF4. What is the hybridization?
It is sp3d2.
4 bond pairs. How many lone pairs?
2 lone pairs.
2 lone pairs. It becomes 6. sp3d2. Then what is the geometry?
It is octahedral.
Octahedral. What is the shape?
Shape is square planar.
Square planar. So all these very important and interesting questions are there on this. If I have, you have seen how that it looks like. How many 2 lone pairs are going? And you are getting this. How it will look like? Square planar. All questions have been already asked. Again, this is important because the noble gases question on given always the structures, shapes, hybridizations. Important. What will be XCF6 then?
Hybridization of XZF6 will be sp3d3.
sp3 d3.
Yes, sir.
There are 6 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. 6 bond pair and 1 lone pair. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So what will be the geometry?
Geometry will be pentagonal bipyramidal.
What they call as distorted
Octahedral.
octahedral. Important such questions have been asked in the paper. You have seen in the book also the structures have been drawn. Distorted octahedral. The fluorides of xenon are very important. There could be any question. We have discussed so many questions on that. Next question is coming on the screen. A square planar complex is formed by the hybridization of the following atomic orbitals. Square planar complex now he's talking about. Square planar complex. Okay. What will be the answer, students? Here is talking of square planar complex. Which orbitals are involved in square planar complex, students? All right. Oh, water, heal me. Sip water.
It should be C option.
Tell me, when a square planar complex is, what is the hybridization? What are the hybridization of the orbitals when we talk of square planar?
It is for a square planar. It is
We have given a table also sometime back.
sp3d2.
sp3d2 is octahedral. Well, it is not a octahedral. Square planar. Wrong answer.
It should be dsp2.
No. The question now is S is spherically symmetric. Which d and which p orbitals should be involved? Now is the question. Here also you have S and D, 3b. Now which should be involved? The overlap of the orbital. Can all the orbitals overlap? If they are not aligned with each other, how they will overlap? So now there comes the question of the shapes of the orbital. Important question, because there will be change in question in the paper.
Sir, it should be C option. dx square minus y square x s px.
This is px. You know, it is oriented towards along x-axis, px.
Yes, sir.
Py is oriented along y-axis.
Y-axis.
X-axis. Y-axis. And what about a dx square, y square? Where are the electron density lobes? They are in which direction? What is the shape of the x square, y square? Just can't guess anything. That's why I'm taking so much time on this. Because these are important questions, then you will have trouble. Students, you should know what type of, if the orientations are not along the same axis, how they can overlap.
It will be 2 will be along the y and 2 will be along x.
2 will be along the y, 2 will be along the x.
Like up and down, and then 2x will be there.
And that is the, so they are this px, py, and dx and dy, they can overlap because S is spherically symmetric. That is combination is possible. If I instead of dx square y square, I make it dz square, then this is not possible. No, because in the paper he will change it. You are saying only d, but at d also there are 5d orbitals. That is the reason. So this is the answer. But you, so much work has been done. For reason, if I change it to dz square, student, what will happen then? Will they overlap?
No, sir.
This is where is the orientation of dz square? It is towards along the z-axis.
Z-axis.
So can it overlap with x and y?
No, sir.
Oh, that is my point. Note down everything. Questions are not going to as easy as you think. You have to think everything. Think. If you don't think, you cannot answer any question. Again, I'm saying to you. All right. Next, students, next question is coming. There will be all types of questions, easy, difficult. Depends. Without thinking, no question be answered. Why I talk of focus and concentration? Why I do all that? Prepare you energy levels high and relieve the distractions. I can't focus, then I can't answer any question. Next question. Which of the following strongest hydrogen bond is the strongest hydrogen bond? Now, hydrogen bond is also very good questions are there. Hydrogen bond. Now, you understand hydrogen bonding? What type of hydrogen bonding you have studied, student?
Intramolecular and intermolecular.
Inter and intra. And you have seen how it affects even organic chemistry. There are a lot of questions on that. Some ortho products are stabilized as compared to para. Salicylic acid. You've seen that. The ortho and how the boiling point and that substances become volatile. So many variety of questions are there. This is a very important bond. Most important bond in terms of the van der Waals forces which you studied in electrons. So you can learn and study more about it. But here the question is not that difficult, I believe. You know it.
It is A option.
Why?
This is because of the large electronegativity difference between hydrogen and fluorine.
In other words, which is the most electronegative element?
Fluorine.
Then what is the most electronegative? And we have given a table of electronegativity in GOC, that how you compare the electronegativity. Some idea should be there because there will be question related to that. Chemistry, you have to know everything. Chemistry, you're connecting so many things with one question. Electronegativity table should be learned, students. Again, I'm saying, which electronegativity table we have given you? Tell me. Pauling.
This Pauling scale one, which is
How you have remember fluorine 4 and then minus 0.5 less, like this, compare with the different groups members. There is a way of learning everything which should be done. Next question, which of the following pair species have the same bond order? Same bond order. Now, how will you decide which will have the same bond order?
those species which will have same number of electrons will have same bond order.
Same number of electrons.
Isoelectronic.
Same number of electrons are called
Isoelectronic species.
Isoelectronic species. They will have the same
bond order.
Okay, then calculate and find out for all the cases. Always solve all the 4 questions here. In the exam, you may solve only one. How many electrons are there in carbon?
It will be option number Cn minus and Cn minus and
Carbon is how much? 6.
Cn minus and NO plus.
Carbon 6 and nitrogen 7 and 1. How much
7.
is that?
14.
What is NO plus? How much is nitrogen?
7 plus 8 plus 1 minus 1. This will be 14.
Okay.
A option.
You can check for others also. Sometimes there are mistakes in the question what we are bringing here. So I said check. Is it lucky that this is the first number? It could have been the last. So we have to work out everything. Never rely on one. You have to check. There will be questions you have to solve and give an answer. You can't say that, okay, this is the best answer. There is no best answer. There is a correct answer. Correct answer has to be given. Next question. Which of the following species exhibits diamagnetic behavior? Diamagnetic behavior, students. Now there are two types of behavior: paramagnetic and
Diamagnet.
now how will you decide?
Those which will have unpaired electrons will show paramagnetism, otherwise diamagnetism.
Now how will you know they have unpaired electrons or not? What theory has been used for that? Which theory you studied?
It was this molecular orbital theory.
Okay, then do whatever you want then. Let us see the answer first. What is the rule of molecular orbital theory? How do you draw that?
There's this order 1s2, 2s2.
Is that the only thing?
Sigma 1s, sigma pi.
Is that same for all the molecules? The answer is no.
No, sir.
Then where is the difference coming?
The difference comes in this pi 2px and pi 2py and
Which
sigma
molecules?
2pz.
Which molecules? How do you remember that? Which molecules?
For molecules which have this number of electrons equal to or less than 14, in this case pi 2px and pi 2py will have less energy than sigma 2pz and otherwise in other.
They have given that which there are elements which are not following one scheme. They have named in the book certainly. How will we spend so much time in any question? We must learn all that. So this, now this question is coming on that. We are not sure about this. Then what will we do? So what is the answer coming?
It will be O2 2 minus D.
What will happen in, you already know, I already know from when we draw that this is a paramagnetic with how many electrons?
18 electrons.
Paramagnetic mean how many unpaired electrons?
It will be 16. Unpaired electrons will be Two unpaired electrons will be there.
Two unpaired electrons have been shown, and there are elements in which the orbital 2p x 2p y pi becomes lower in energy than the sigma. There is a difference, and then this will have one. What will happen in NO? What is the nitrogen 7 plus 8? This is 15 itself, so it is odd electron. Odd electron. I'm not going into detail more than that. Odd electron is there, so then it will be
Paramagnetic.
magnetic. So many things we learned which we are using, and then it will we get paired up O2 minus. Then what will it will become diamagnetic.
Diamagnetic.
So one question needs critical thinking, and there are many things which we apply. We can't spend so much time in solving. We must have learned so many things which we apply in any question. Next question is coming now. In which of the following modes will the bond angle be maximum? Bond angle questions are coming. Bond angle, then again you have to see what are the hybridizations, shapes, geometries, lone pairs, bond pair, everything.
It should be NH4 plus.
You already know this is sp3. You have done it. Now the bond angle is 109 and 28. Is there any bond angle bigger than that in different
sir.
shapes we have seen? So I mean, I have to work for everything, but certain things we already know, and then it becomes easier for us to answer the question. All right, this is the correct answer. You already know, you can work out the hybridizations and shapes of all these molecules. Question is going to be hybridization shapes, bond angles, bond lengths, as you have seen, bond orders. All these questions are coming. Next question is coming, the charge by radius determines its polarizing power. Which one of the following can represent the increasing order of polarizing power of cationic species? Cationic species, okay. Now, this question is based on what?
Fajan's rule.
What is Fajan's rule? See, all the things are important. What is Fajan's rule?
Fajan's rule was it was
We already defined charge by size ratio. All
smaller
right.
the size of cation, larger the size of anion. It was
All
that.
right. Then you try the question. Read it carefully. Do it.
It should be K plus CH plus It should be B option.
Which group is potassium?
Group 1.
And which group are these elements?
Group 2.
Group 2. Start from, what are the elements of group 2? What is the start from? Group 2 element. Give the name of the group 2 elements.
Group 2 elements, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, barium, strontium.
Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, barium, strontium. Here there is no barium. Okay. The size increasing?
Yes, sir.
Size increasing. And there are 2 plus. 2 plus is always smaller than 1 plus. And these are the larger size always. Alkali metals. They are the larger size. So naturally, the smallest, which is the smallest one? That is
K
beryllium.
plus. K plus.
After beryllium will come magnesium, then calcium, and then this will, then we know this is answer. See, this we have to learn all this because they can give more elements from this or this. Comparison, how do we make comparison? Charge by radius ratio. That is charge by size or charge by radius. So polarizing power, you know, what are the consequences of polarizing power? There could be question on that. How polarizing power changes the ionic or covalent character? You know about that. Important, this is important too. He has not asked a direct question, so there could be different type of questions. Next question, which of the following is an electron deficient molecule? Now, again, we are talking of 2 types of thing, electron deficient. And second, we talk of
Electron rich.
and third,
Electron precise.
electron precise. So based on that type of concepts. And then if you can write the Levy structure, it helps you a lot. The Levy structure are important in many cases and must be learned by the student. That's what we are saying. Okay, then you can try to answer the question. You got the idea why we did all that.
It should be B2H6.
B2H6 by?
So because B2H6 boron is of group 13 and group 13 hydrides are electron deficient in nature.
That is the only thing you study, or you say, okay, but what are the orbitals involved in this which has a vacant orbital to accept lone pair of electrons? What is the atomic number of boron?
5.
Then what is that? 1s2, 2s2,
2s2p1.
2p1. When it will form bonds, what happens? One electron is excited, then what happens? You have 2s2p. How many? 1, 2, 3. So if it forms this a vacant, there is a vacant p orbital,
Yes, sir.
and it will be able to accept the electrons. What happens in the case of pH3?
pH3 has lone pair of electrons, so it is electron rich.
pH3 phosphorus is how much? What is the configuration of phosphorus? Is group 15? Group 15.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With a 3s2,
3p3.
3p3. Because it is pH3. It's not pH 5 or something. So these 3 electrons will be used up. See, you have to work out everything. I'm just trying to show you that you have to try everything. You can't So what will happen? You have 1, 2, and 3. You have a lone pair of electrons. They will form, but there is a 3D vacant also. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Even 3D vacant is also there. So here you are saying that B2H6, you know, the B2H6, the shape of the B2H6, what is the geometry of, what is the structure of, I have been asked so many times. Structure of B2H6. What is the structure has been put up many times. What is the structure of B2H6?
It consists of banana bonds, 3 center 2 electron bonds.
Banana bonds. And what 4 hydrogens are similar, and what is that?
Yes, sir. 4 hydrogens are at terminal position and 2 are banana bonds.
Important question on structure have been put up. So you can study more about it. Next question is coming. In which of the following molecule ion all bonds or the bonds are unequal? Unequal. Following molecules, ions, all the bonds are unequal. Bonds are unequal. Molecules or ions.
It should be SF4.
Why? Why? What is,
Because SF4 structure is trigonal bipyramidal.
how many electrons are there in the sulfur?
It is 16 to 8 6 valence electrons.
1, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many bonds are there? 4. And there is one lone pair. One lone pair.
Yes, sir.
What is the shape of this?
It will be trigonal bipyramidal.
I'm saying, what is the shape of this? Is it trigonal bipyramidal shape? If it is trigonal bipyramidal, then why all the bonds will be different?
Its shape will be seesaw shape.
Now you got it. That you don't try to guess. Again, I say that you have to work out everything. Just don't answer anything. Answers are available at many places. It has no meaning. You should know what you are doing. When we know how to do it, we should do it. Shortcuts will never work anywhere. I'm telling you. So you have to be careful. SF6, what is the hybridization? 4 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. What is that hybridization?
SP3D.
SP3D. What shape that? What geometry that gives?
Geometry will be trigonal bipyramidal.
But what happens? There is a lone pair. Lone pair. Then what the shape becomes? If I put a lone pair, what shape you said?
Seesaw shape.
Seesaw shape. This lone pair will repel, and these 2 bonds are farther away. Will all the bonds will be unequal? What happens in SiF4? What is the?
Silicon will be SP3.
Here there is no problem. What is XeF4? You have seen the shape of that square planar?
Yes, sir.
No problem here. Then what is the BF4?
BF4 will be tetrahedral.
SP3.
SP3.
Then in SF4 you can see, but still I have something, because these bond lengths, some repulsion is taking place between them. Then only this choice is there. How much we have to work to get an answer? You see, there is a hybridization, there is a geometry and a shape. Questions are quite not a normal question that you can immediately say, okay, this. Next question. Among the following pair, the one in which two species are not isostructural. Not isostructural. Isostructural. Now you have to see what do you mean by isostructural. Isostructural. Then you draw and find out. Draw and find out. What do you mean by isostructural?
Same structure.
Okay. Do it. Not isostructural. The same. They don't have the same structure. Which two?
It will be SiF4 and SF4.
Why is the reason? What is SiF4? Hybridization.
SiF4 has 4 bond pairs and no lone pair. So it is SP3.
This is SP3. SiF4 is SP3.
And SF4 has 4 bond pair and 1 lone pair.
4 bond pair plus 1 lone pair. What is that hybridization?
SP3D.
SP3D. Therefore, they cannot be isostructural. Rest you have to see. Already you know. You have seen SP3D2, SP3, and this. What are these? IO3 minus and XO3. 3 bond pair and 1 lone pair. So, what type of SP3 hybridizations? All right. Next question is coming. In which of the following ionization process the bond order has increased and magnetic behavior has changed? Ionization process in the bond order has increased. Bond order has increased, students. Bond order increased. And magnetic behavior has changed. What will you use?
MOT theory.
MO theory. Okay, then you have to see how many electrons are there. Nitrogen and oxygen. How much is that? 7 plus 8, 15. Here, how many electrons?
NO2N.
8 plus 8 electrons. And then it becomes 15 here. Here, what is that? 15 electron. 7 plus 8, 15. How many it becomes? 14.
14.
Here, 14 and 13. Here, 12 and
11.
okay, then you try and see what will happen, which case. When something becomes diamagnetic from paramagnetic or paramagnetic from diamagnetic, that means the change in magnetic behavior. What do you mean by change in magnetic behavior?
Either it becomes paramagnetic to diamagnetic or vice versa.
Magnetic. Change in magnetic behavior also we say. Only the behavior you studied two, paramagnetic and diamagnetic. Then find out where change is happening.
It will be NO2, NO plus.
How?
A option.
What is the bond order of NO?
Because in case of NO, the electron is removed from the anti-bonding molecular orbital. So bond order will increase and the nature will become paramagnetic to diamagnetic.
One electron is there and it becomes diamagnetic. Okay, next question. Number of PO bonds in P4O10. We discussed the structure of P4O10 so many times.
Yes, sir.
P4O10 structure is very important, have been discussed in detail many times in oxo acids of phosphorus. They are important. What is the answer? You already know about that. In one of the videos, we have uploaded all this P4O10 structure many times. How many PO bonds were there?
It will be It should be 16.
16. Okay, see the structure of P4O10. When doubt. The next question of the following which does not contain isoelectronic species. Isoelectronic. What are isoelectronic species?
Having same electrons.
Again, such questions are coming. Okay, what is the answer then? How many electrons are there in SO3 minus sulfur? How many electrons in sulfur?
16.
16. Oxygen?
In 1 it is 8 and in 3 it will be 24.
How much it is coming? What is happening in CO3?
42.
Carbon 12.
12 plus 24 plus
And 2. What is NO3 minus?
7 plus
Find out how many electrons.
sir, it will be A option only.
How much it is coming?
For SO3 2 minus it is 42. For CO3 2 minus 38. And for NO3 minus it is 32.
So then this is the answer. All right. We end up the session here. We will see you in the next class. So keep revising everything and try to practice as much different type of questions as possible. Okay, then I will see you in the next class.
Okay, thank you, sir.